A high-stakes battle under the Gold Dome. An internal memo from the governor's office is ordering state agencies to freeze spending.
And critics warn it will starve schools and clinics, but top Republicans argue this is a vital reality check. Atlanta News First reporter Abby Casouras joins us live from the state capitol tonight. So Abby, how are they justifying a freeze when state reserves remain in the billions?
About $10 billion in that rainy day fund at last check. The governor's team says this will preserve a strong financial foundation for years to come, while Democrats and even educators argue that with inflation, these kind of freezes are really just cuts. This is the one-page memo sent by the governor's office directing state agencies to immediately freeze spending. Social studies teacher Wayne Houston says the move is a direct threat to his students.
My major concern again is the impact on children. When there's not enough funding, something is going to be cut.
But Republicans say this is a necessary step of fiscal discipline. Senate Appropriations Chairman Blake Tillery says the state is simply coming down from a massive pandemic-era economic peak.
But now all that sugar high has finally bled out of the system, and you're seeing a return to normal on state revenues.
Senate Democrat Rashawn Kemp warns these freezes hit where it hurts most: education and health care, which account for more than 3/4 of the state budget.
While we continue to see hospitals close and students that are languishing in their education, we should not be cutting or freezing spending.
The tension centers on a high-stakes choice. Georgia recently approved of a massive multi-billion-dollar income tax cut with no plan, opponents say, to replace the revenue, while critics argue it favors the wealthy. Tillery insists leaving money in taxpayers' pockets is worth the hard choices.
The best advice I can give to the next chair is you have to be willing to confidently and with conviction say no.
Houston fears that teachers will end up spending their raises on school supplies.
That money that teachers got for a raise will probably be used for classroom supplies or other needs of students.
State agencies should be working on those bare bones budgets right now to then submit them to the legislature for approval next year. That's also when we could expect to see some of this tension bubbling over as lawmakers reconvene back here in January. Live at the state capitol, Abby Casouras, Atlanta News First.